Hello and welcome to the Boise State Esports Arena. It's time to keep PEC Spring Week 2 running with Valorant. Today's matchup is a big one. The second place Boise State Broncos will face off against the defending champions in the third place Michigan State Spartans. A battle at the top three of the standings with big implications for the PEC. For the casting desk, my name is Zach Munson, and this time I'm joined by Audrey Norris on the other side of the desk for once. And Audrey, I mean, we just mentioned top three of the standings for both of these teams, and do you think the winner of this one is firmly cemented as the number 2 team in PEC Valorant?
See, that's a fun one. Valorant is one of those games where I feel like the way that it goes, it can be like super interesting to see like how you actually lock in those rankings, right? Though knowing how intense the gameplay can be and the skill of these players, I would absolutely say that with where we're currently at, with the standings, we've seen a season, right, of play, this back and forth. This is a very strong solidification for these teams. Whoever manages to create the upset tonight has a really, really good spot to be like, see, I still got it, and you have to watch out for me going into this later season, especially for the first place team.
I'm not sure if I can disagree with you one bit, but we actually have some news for Boise State Valorant fans out there. We've got social media profiles set up for both X and Instagram. So if you want to keep up with all things involving our Valorant squad, scan the QR code. We are Boise State Val, all one word, on X and Instagram. And again, that is Boise State Val. We'll have highlights, schedules, and more posted. Go follow us and support our Broncos. And Week 1 now being fully concluded means that we can take a look at the standings going into this week. The Broncos sitting at 9-1 with their only loss being the undefeated Buckeyes. And Michigan State Spartans have only been defeated by the 2 teams ahead of them in the standings, and they've got a chance today to even up the score. We can move forward now to what's going on this week in Valorant. We've got Ohio State versus Syracuse. Could potentially be a sneaky matchup, with the Orange getting a map win against the Spartans last week. Nebraska versus Kansas sees the Cornhuskers looking to get a late season push started. And Utah versus Baylor, it's going to be an interesting one because those are 2 feisty teams that are always liable to bring a competitive game every week. And Michigan State versus Boise State is the game we will get to in just a second. It's going to be a good one. Lots of very strong teams, and this is ours right now. We've got Skelesis, Master, Prestige, Daimyo, Cause, and Skies. The typical lineup that we've been seeing, the 6-man roster that's been so flexible and strong in this PEC. Everyone able to step up and deliver at any moment. And they're going to need to deliver today for sure, as we were talking a bit about the maps before we got into this one, and Bind could be an interesting place to start. Well, actually, before we get to that, though, we've got Michigan State's lineup: Lemur, Slouch, Hirasudo, Illogical, and Aaron. Lots of different faces from that championship team last year, but yet again, they find themselves here at the top of the standings. Always a strong team and a super strong program, especially for Valorant. But getting back into what I was just saying about the maps, Bind could definitely be. Could you see that being our starting place here?
I mean, I would not be surprised. Look, we do see the Boise pick there for that, as well as Michigan State looking at Haven. We were just talking about it. It's something that, it's a very classic, map for competitive, with a lot of different opportunities, especially with some of the shenanigans with the portals, of course. And so often seeing it, I am not shocked just due to the nature of how that map is set up. I mean, again, Haven and Bind, classics. You see them all the time when we're going in. So seeing these two going into this setup does not surprise me in the least.
Interesting, though, is like the kind of respect bands that you see from each team. Michigan State definitely respecting the still undefeated Corrode of the Broncos and Split. Michigan State has been strong on that map, so it's going to be taken off the board, as it seems like we've kind of got the compromises here in the middle. And I think this first one's really going to kind of set the tempo for the rest of it in a way. Do you agree?
I would not be surprised. I mean, Valorant being a best 2 out of 3 game with so much time spent in each match, right? There's a lot of momentum to build up, and having those first key strategies to be able to go forward are incredibly important.
You're just too good at setting me up, aren't you? Key strategies, just like Doc's keys to the game in Valorant. Flank efficiently, chat strats every round, diminish their econ and loot, and know your win condition. And of course, all of those are brought to you by Blue Ribbon Painting. With over 90 years of combined experience, they're proud to be Boise's go-to team of local, multi-generational painters who know how to level up your home. Visit blueribbonpainting.net. And now, things calm down a little and we can see what's ahead of us. As we mentioned, the winner of this one most likely to be looked at by the consensus opinion as the second strongest team in the PEC, but right now, going into this, I have to say that I think the Broncos have a bit of advantage. Obviously, they've beaten them before, and they've also been the only team to take a map off of Ohio State thus far, just in the PEC season, not even just the spring, but overall. I don't know, but if Michigan State looks strong enough, I think it could kind of change my opinion.
You know, you make a good point. I actually wanted to bring up that again, the going into that opening question, right, of like, how would this cement that, right? Because we said, yeah, it'll cement, but like how?
Yeah.
We have beaten Michigan State before. By having that happen once, right, it's not like a provable, oh, we're always going to do it. Doing it twice, though, does show that the Broncos have, you know, analyzed, determined, and been able to act on strategies against a specific team. So for Michigan, this is a very important matchup because they need to be able to show, can Michigan State, right, showcase a way to get around a previous issue that they've had in the past, whereas the Broncos are looking to solidify that advantage and kind of show to Ohio State that they need to be careful.
It's a common thing just in sports in general where it's a general principle. It's difficult to beat the same team twice because they've got film on you now. They know what you like to do, so you're going to have to go into this next one just with a little bit of a different lens. And of course, these teams in the PEC, they study each other. They practice against each other. They play each other a lot. And if you're able to beat a team twice, it does, for the most part, mean that you have something against them. And yeah, I mean, if they split 1-1 here, I don't know. Michigan State, though, fresh off of they lost one map to Syracuse, and that map was actually Bind, which could be interesting because that is one of the Broncos' strongest. But like I said, how they show up on Haven, in my opinion, is going to kind of show how they're moving forward here.
Yeah, especially just like the nature of Haven as a map, right? Like it's an interesting starter map just based off of like its structure compared to other ones, but also just in the way momentum can go, which is something I'm really excited to see because like you said, this will solidify kind of the general momentum. Whichever team can find that first advantage and push it forward, not only are we going to have what'll be an exciting and just incredible matchup with ultimates flying left and right, but we will also see like a really good tempo set for the rest of the game.
Some phrases especially in esports, like momentum and aggression, like they seem kind of vague and elusive, but just defining that momentum, I think specifically for Haven, it's on those 3 site maps. If you're able to just push a site and win, it's like in football when you can run the ball. Like now everything changes. You've opened up so much. If you're able to either defend those pushes or get those pushes to work, because there's so much space on the map to cover, things can get crazy.
Momentum on Haven is absolutely the mind games. Do you know what the opposing team wants to do? And can you figure out where to defend the additional spot for dropping the point, you know?
For sure, yeah.
Is
I
always an
understand.
interesting thing
what
back and forth. And like having that additional like point and variable to consider is very interesting.
I think, what you're getting at is like, you can plant the spike in so many crazy places on this map. Even on Haven, you just where you put the spike is how you can play around the map. And we're getting right in to map 1. All the characters are locked in as we get into a big game here. Number 2 versus number 3 on Haven getting started. Boise State versus Michigan State. It's going to be pistol round, something that Broncos traditionally, you don't know this stat. I can bring it up again. I'm so proud of it because I said it when Nathaniel's here, but I still have it written down. The pistol win rate of the Broncos, 51.2%. Every other round, 64.7. So
We're pulling out the statistics right now.
Traditionally a little bit weaker on these pistols, but if they're able to get a couple going, you know what that can do for the economy.
You know, I totally understand that whenever I'm in the pistol round, it stresses me out, and it is such a interesting starting point for a game. So, you know, for teams at this level, you know, they're going to be a lot more composed than me being scared around the corner for any potential headshots or picks, but it's still a very important moment to determine what you're going to go into.
Interesting setup from the Broncos. Doesn't look like it's going to pay off, but it actually might. 4 players set up on C. This could be the Spartans going straight into the meat grinder on round 1, but the information not quite there. Cause looking for a nice little shot with the Bandit. It can do so much, but instead it's towards Skelesis. In window, he's going to be tested. Blindside comes through, as well as the shock hold. Gonna stun him up. They're going to push in. Cause able to get the first trade. Skelesis can't land it. Pushing around the corner with the classic. Gets good damage as Skies now takes point. Moves forward with the Bandit. A headshot delivered. Slouch one right back quickly. And Kirisudo catches Master. The late player C main gets him in the smoke menu as things calm down a bit. As the spike most likely to be planted here.
You'd never guess if the spike is going to get planted in the spot where the enemy is, but yes, with the plant going through here.
They don't know about Daimyo.
They don't know.
Sees the cave. He can creep up, but Skelesis is going to be pushed before it happens. Oh, but he's playing his time perfectly, letting them walk towards him. Daimyo can't quite land all the shots, but he does enough damage to Slouch to make this winnable. Skelesis, an upgrade to a ghost right here could be important, but sticks with the classic. Delivers the right click as the defuse comes through, and Skelesis delivers a pistol round for the Broncos.
Great control there from the Broncos. I think a big stressful moment here, of course, is when the attackers go through the middle, and then you need to figure out, are they going to stick? Are they going to go left or right?
Yeah.
Controlling where you appear and how quickly you jump on the scene was so crucial there. We saw that sneak attack from Daimyo there that really helped create some shots.
Crazy clip. Showing that it can be done in multiple games.
The Broncos keep winning.
Yeah. Interesting, and I like what you noted about how Boise State chose to just give the pressure up and wait to take favorable engagement. Skelesis knew he didn't have to take the fight right away, but take the fight right away is what Illogical is going to do. A is just, it's completely free, but the Killjoy utility kind of scares them away. They see the turret. They don't know about Skelesis with the Odin. Round 2, up in heaven, Dart gonna come through. He's gonna look to do some damage here. Holding it in the smoke as they walk out, being forward. Skelesis taking his position in the smoke, biding his time. Skies actually might get tested earlier than he thinks. Good adjustment, 10 HP though. Lemur's shot did land, and Skelesis is gonna look for the Owl Drone to try and get someone marked that he can shoot through the wall at. The spike goes their way, and retake is already a little bit more sketchy than it probably has to be. Master getting one, quickly traded. Aaron running through. Skelesis, good transfer. And now only one player left. It's main. Sky swinging. Hold on. Kirisudo. Not to be messed with quite like that, but the stick coming through. Kirisudo trying to do anything, but there's nothing to be done as Michigan State forced, but they still lose the round, and the Broncos get up to 2.
Team Ace as well on top of that. You know, numbers are really the name of the game here, and with the Broncos able to, you know, keep their resources up comparatively, not much the Spartans could do in the end there. When you're the lone man at the back of the point trying to look for that pick and you hear the defuse, what are you supposed to do?
Well, how crazy is that for the economy? They bought up and still...
And now gone. Yeah. All gone. All those resources out, and the Broncos still holding on strong there.
Forced up, but... interesting play. They let them take the site knowing their retake was stronger, and now the mid push is coming through. Master might be in more trouble than he might expect here. Illogical sliding in, gets taken down quickly as Master holds strong for 2. The rest of the team slows down here towards mid for a second, but he wants more. Keeps pushing. Daimyo the one to grab it. Aaron, quick shots at the Sheriff, but the trade still fully in favor of the Broncos as once again Kirisudo the last player alive out mid.
Gotta be careful. We saw what happened last time, but numbers advantage is here getting some information and looking forward.
Guys, beautiful shot. 3-0 now, able to get that round off, that economy advantage, like you mentioned.
It's just going to continue to build up, and that's what we're seeing here. And the Broncos are just keeping any opportunity for Michigan State to rally and find what they want to do on a point on their toes. Instead of really letting them get anywhere near the point this time around, they chose to instead push forward. You know, many times I would want to be backing off as Masters, but no fear there, pushing up and giving some opportunity to create space for the rest of the team.
Taking those risks and kind of establishing that you're not afraid early will let you take space in the future because you'll be respected. Oz is looking kind of not respected right here as they push his site. Dodges the utility for the time being, but not wanting to stick around much longer. He's going to creep back into the smoke now as 5 players all set up on site. Cause spraying through the smoke, can't quite hit Logical or anyone for that matter, but this flank battle is important. Kirisudo, the one to win it now. Only 4v4 actually. Cause picks up a quick one, but this late player C main so difficult to deal with. They have to get out quick. Slouch, interesting angle. It's not going to be adjusted for. Not an angle you would expect in a high-low here. Daimyo gets one. Cause and Skelesis double swing gets one, but it's only Daimyo now. Sees the barrel. The transfer not quite there. Aaron able to get 3 and get Michigan State there first here.
I think that's a great moment that just showcases how those split-second decisions can make such a big difference in our round. You know, going around the corner, trying to find a potential sightline where you might see an opponent. Slouch here just not being where Masters was expecting them. And same thing, you know, swinging together normally is a great idea. You can get multiple opportunities, but ultimately the Spartans had found the angles they wanted and the Broncos needed to adjust. But going into that, they now know that sneaky spot that the Spartans want to take.
I think it also has to be mentioned too that they actually didn't even plant for Kirisudo out main, but now we don't have much time to talk as the push fast. Once again, Daimyo timing is perfect, still gets blinded, has to try and make something happen, but he gets his one, and he gets traded quickly. Sky's backside with the operator, gets hit by the paranoia, but Master still holding it down. What a shot from Skelesis. Aaron now left all on his lonesome as Skelesis falling back is going to make this so difficult. Aaron has to care about every single angle as it's him against the world.
Sneaky, sneaky. We know what happened with the Sheriff previously, and so does the Spartans, trying to find any angle, sneaking around, but Masters holding down the line and not perceptive enough to see the angle that the Broncos held down. Another great opportunity there, just showcasing how, you know, if all of you are hanging out on the point for the most part and your opposing team is getting a little comfortable, you can just sneak around and surprise them all from the back line. But also just this incredibly fast push up here from the Spartans. I can see many situations where that would work out, but the way that the Broncos chose to react to it was also quite up in your face and not what I believe that Yoru was going to expect whatsoever.
I love when they play into my talking points, because I had just mentioned how when those fast pushes work, hold on, interrupting me, Lemur, great shot, but
he heard you.
They're forced to slow it down. They can't push as fast, and that's normally what the Broncos want, but Cause now has to hide the gun, make sure that they can't push into window and get it. But that's one player now that can't be on the map. An early kill given away as the Owl drone comes in through garage here.
Information is the name of the game here. Going through that middle.
Because that shot comes out, they're probably going to be a little bit less likely to try and go towards C, knowing that Skies doesn't often miss those. Kind of trapped in garage so far, but space is space. That smoke, I mean, that heavily implies they're going towards window, knowing that they're going to use it kind of as a fake to walk out back towards mid and try Daimyo on B site. Oh, he doesn't even know. Fast lane comes up and all the pressure here. Daimyo gets the first transfer onto the second, the third. Daimyo holding strong backside. Cause is now in position to support, and the spike in no man's land. Daimyo saves the round, but Cause is the one to end it. 5 now for the Broncos.
Taking the name Killjoy seriously there. The Spartans thinking that they had that opportunity and popping out from the backline, taking out 3 players. Such a strong play right there, just holding the line, not losing composure, even when, you know, Neon just pops out of nowhere.
It makes it look so easy, but
right?
those are the hardest kind of plays because they all know where he is, and he doesn't know where anyone is.
And so it's all timing and all, like, not all chance, but there is a good amount of, if I pop out here, am I going to see the player or are they going to see me first? And going for that and holding strong is such a great thing. And I mean, we've already been seeing that a lot with Daimyo here.
Good ult management as well means that the Broncos still have strong ults. They use those to win the round, but now they have even more waiting to be used. Master Smoke saving a bit of space. Slouch doesn't know how much trouble he could be in. Skyzda would have to make an interesting shot. Flicking down is not really something you do very often just in this game. It would be a hard shot if Slouch decides to dry peek. He's getting antsy, waiting for it. Shoulders exchanged, and it's a little bit sketchy now. Skies dropping down as the rest of the team grouping up, ready to push. Alarm bot showing it, but the dimensional drift is coming through and noting everybody. It might get sketchy on point here now. Utility coming through with the paranoia is dodged. But still, the Broncos respect it and let the plant come down with the lockdown certain to be used here in a second. Cause actually getting ahead of it and getting the first lockdowns exchanged. It kind of makes a site. No one can really play there. Everybody has to leave, but that's good for the attackers. Neither of them can be broken, and everybody trying to make a play around it, but instead, now it's a race back to site. Everybody comes through. Skies can't quite hit the first shot, but gets in a great position. Now, Tap comes through on the spike. Kirisudo holding towards short, traded quickly by Daimyo, but not quick enough. Aaron gets the first, Skies quickly onto the second, and Master's the one to win it. All the 1v1s going their way, not dead yet. Saving the round for 6 for the Broncos.
Very close there on the defuse, but great retake there from the Broncos. The Killjoy pushing everyone out, and both of them with the, you know, just ability that they have to do that. It's unlike a lot of the other, like, abilities in the game, and so it's such an interesting thing. I don't think I've ever witnessed a double, like, from both teams doing that. So that was a wonderful, interesting interaction to be able to see.
The weird thing to me was just how quickly Kirisudo popped it, though, because if you wait like 10 seconds, it can make it difficult because their Killjoy pops and they want to go. But oh my goodness, this action is non-stop. Skies pushing out and gets a first, and Master is back at it again. Quickly taking out 2 as the round already so difficult for the Spartans. They don't even want me to talk about the game. They just want more action. Skies taking more positions. Finally, thought he was going to back off, but he wants more. Master supported by Daimyo. Doesn't even have to have the shot. And actually a good adjustment from Slouch. Taken down again, and only one player left. It's Kirisudo again. Skies the 1-2. Find it. It's all mid, and it's all Boise State.
Such a quick loss to people there for the Spartans instantly locked down their resources. And I mean, you know, when you have a player holding strong in that middle spot, and then you know that the garage is another opportunity for someone to pop out, especially Skies with the op right now. That's such a menacing thing to deal with sightlines, and that was just such a great play from the Broncos to be able to hold and just know, yep, we're going to hold right there.
I gotta say, though, I would expect a timeout, given that this is the Spartans' map pick. Currently trailing by 6 rounds, and now on core weaponry, they're gonna have to try the Demon again. Daimyo backside dodges the util and dodges the dart as well. He can wait all he wants. He's gonna get tested, but he's ready. Incoming Stellasis being a distraction. Daimyo and Stellasis one apiece, and he wants more. Daimyo swinging through. Another delivered. Heaven player Slouch. I think he's noted. Skies certainly seems aware of it. Slouch, only a sheriff to his name versus the op. Cloudburst goes through and causes the one to get it instead. Kirisudo seems like every round he's the last alive, and this time he'll be the last to die. Daimyo,
and that's a flawless right there.
Wow, Daimyo is playing amazing so far this game. Like, they're leaving him by himself on the site, and they can't push the site that he's on. Finally, the timeout comes through.
That timeout you were looking for. And, you know, I don't really blame them. The resource game is so different right now. You know, barely seeing what the funds look like for the Broncos at this point because they don't even really need to look right now.
Yeah.
They've had such good areas to like hold. You know, they haven't been losing many players. It has been happening because that's the nature of the scuffle. But in the ways that they've been playing so far, they've had their sight lines, they've been comfortable, and they've been able to go, no, this is when I want to pop out. I'm not going to pop out just because you threw something over here. And it's been going the direction of the Broncos pretty swimmingly every time.
I didn't really expect this, at least going into Michigan State's map pick. 8-1 on the defensive half so far. We talked about the momentum, we defined the momentum, and now we're truly seeing it in action because, as I had mentioned, when you're not able, you're running Neon, and you're not able to just push a site and even get in. Like, Daimyo's just holding you there. It takes like half the plays out of your playbook.
It's very menacing. And, you know, that's something that, although it's been a while since I've watched the Broncos play Valorant, it's something I expect from them, that adaptability to what your opposing team is going to want to do and just going, well, you want to be here, so I'm going to be here. Classic play from Boise State here as we get to jump into the next round after the timeout.
Logical takes space instantly towards Garage. And a dart has to be used for Skelesis, but it works. Trades go both way, though. And C-Site might actually be looking a little weaker than it is. Master able to get into that cubby so quickly. We've seen him do that play before, and he seems to get away with it. But Kaz might have to get away with a lot more. Lemur is pushing towards him. Good timing. Kaz finds it, and now the push. So difficult. Skies just has to hold towards Garage because Master can cover his long. Slouch taken down to half HP, but Skies not even gonna be tested as the Spartans kind of have to take their time and think about what they want to do here, down a player.
Seeing a lot of decision making here. The spike is next to the middle, but they want to be very careful, and it's not careful enough.
Great shot, and he's aware of the second player, and he wants it. Point blank with the operator ill-advised, but it is Skies, and it's Kirisuto again, the last player alive. They've looped each other. Kirisuto's behind him, doesn't even know. Timing so uncomfortable. The shot comes through, and Updraft draws the crosshair for Kaz to get the Broncos up to 9 already on defense.
What a great spot for them. I was nervous there when they managed to sneak around. You know, that is one of those things where if Michigan State had just a little bit more room to work with, they could have been able to gain that momentum back, perhaps find the spike. But just another reason why having a teammate to come check your backline there, like KOS knocking out Kirisuto, just showcases, importance of, you know, shocker, team game, right?
Once again, it's mid, and it's slow for Michigan State. They don't have a lot of options, and going mid now, their A space taken so quickly. B looks weak, but the flank is going to be there so quickly. Skelesis again with the Odin, spraying through a shot onto the foot of Illogical. That's going to sting in the morning as the lockdown comes through. Daimyo just has to hold this. It's probably going to get pushed, I would imagine, but instead the Spartans couldn't even plant the spike. What a amazing preventative lockdown as they're all in the corner for Daimyo! Only able to get one, but they're all trapped. He's seen everybody. All the information comes through, and the Broncos now able to walk up and get so much more space. That rifle could potentially be given over, but doesn't even look like they go for it. Instead, it's towards Skies. Can't land the first, and knowing how many players that means, he's running. Illogical going for him. Ooh, the shot not found, but Shorty in hand does find it. Skies through the smoke, trying to live a little bit longer for Master to deliver the kills. Backside shooting already has 2, looking for the third onto Kirisuto, and he's gonna find it. 10 rounds for the Broncos, and that's gotta be the unbottled play of the game. That's the unbottled play of the game presented by local dairy farm families. Perform, refuel, recover, and repeat. Visit unbottled.com to learn more. And it's just been the story of who can play on site and who can just shut everybody down, whether it's Daimyo, whether it's Master, whether it's Skies. It really could be anybody. The pushes just aren't working this far.
No, the Spartans have been able to just not find what they. You can tell that they want, what they want.
They have
you
a
see,
plan,
they have a very clear goal.
Skies again.
It's
Look at
just
this.
not working where they want it to be.
Finally, actually did work this time, but Master is still alive with Skelesis, and they're in a weird spot though. Lemur gets the first, not dead yet, utilized. Master stuck in the corner. Paranoia hits, and him even living this long is a miracle. Has to try and get something. Out goes the metal. Jiggle peeking has to go soon, and Lemur finds it solo. But do they know about Skelesis in the corner with the Odin? And it's difficult. He's biding his time. They know it's not flank. Daimyo's already walked all the way up, and they're even going to use the lockdown. So afraid of what this could mean, but they want to play ahead of it. The Broncos just get one, and now they can run out. Things have evened up. Oh, Skelesis gets away, and Cause hides backside. Cause, they don't know that he's here, shoots the clone. And they're kind of stuck. Daimyo finally the flank comes through, gets two, and he's stuck in Dimensional Drift. Lemur has the spike, and in the ult has to run away and find some other place to go with it.
Sneaking around, going to find the plant, but Broncos have the number game right now, and with the...
I don't know if he's spotted by that owl drone though. Didn't shoot it. Dart's not going to clear, but this would be the first spot you would most likely look. Backside, typically the angle to be played, but the Broncos making sure not to leave anything up to chance. They're trying to push out, but Lemur waiting so long finally gets spotted, and Daimyo is the one to defuse it. Cause, quick headshot, and 11-1 half for Boise State on Michigan State's map pick.
Insane result there.
Switching sides.
That just wow, getting that far ahead. But I mean, that just goes to show everything we were talking about, resources, position, and general playing, all of that placement was so crucial to how the Broncos were shutting down the Spartans' locations that they wanted to be in. And, even in that last moment, being able to sneak into that back, going on to B point, there's only so many places you want to hide to be able to effectively do that. And that, at the end, was going to be the nail in the coffin for that round.
Thank you, of course, to Dairy West for sponsoring the stream. Today's stream is brought to you in part by local dairy farmers and the dairy protein they produce. Thanks to them, Boise State Esports has access to next-level fueling options that keep our players playing at their peak. Unbottled dairy protein that powers your performance. Visit unbottled.com for more info. As we're back into it already, but this time a little shades of Boise State as B space quickly taken and Sheriff shots quickly delivered. Broncos have to try and get back into this one. Skelesis great with the classic, but this time he's going to take the ghost, and the fight's not in his favor. Lemur now stepping up with the Sheriff is going to get it all in a flawless pistol quickly for Michigan State here.
Tables have turned a bit, it seems, in this first round, though not the full determiner as we have seen can go other ways with this. The big thing right now is just looking at this next place. The resources here with the econ is a big thing. If you cannot find a way to shut down your opponent before they can take more than one round at a time, you're going to be in a rough spot, and that's what the Broncos definitely want to prioritize in this next setup here.
Again, this setup is a fast mid push. Not challenged right away, as looks like Slouch holding in the smoke. Might not be accounted for. Skies walks right past him, and Slouch gets the first and a second. Skies able to line it. He's trying to do trigger discipline. He's trying to get behind him and see his teammates, but instead settles for the kill and picks up a Bulldog. Nice. Now he could drop his gun if he wanted to a teammate. An interesting push coming through. They've gotten a decent amount of A space, and the rotates are starting to come through, but the fact that they keep Skelesis towards C kind of tells me that this could be going back the other way here.
Now the Broncos feeling a little bit of the pressure that Michigan State was feeling earlier, but not letting themselves get deterred here, being able to reset and find a different location, getting the alarm bot tripped. And Nanoswarm early, yeah. they know exactly where the Broncos want to go. It's just a question of will they gain what they
already
need.
out on site. I don't know if this is expected, but the ping makes it expected. Skies, so valuable with this Bulldog, keeping alive, and now a chance to get close. Lemur shuts it down quickly. Skies wanting to make a play, tries the swing, but it's not enough, and Daimyo can't quite play. 3 more for Lemur. Sheriff doing a lot of damage now, but that is a round that they're most likely expected to get money advantage. With 11 rounds, though, for the Broncos, they're going to have to pretty much play like this until the end of the map. Not a lot of margins for the
Money
Spartans.
advantage isn't everything, but it definitely will help Michigan State being able to create the environment they want here for where people are going to go. Is going to be an interesting challenge for the Broncos, but one that we've seen them overcome, especially here now. They were storing up during that second round to make sure that they aren't completely at a disadvantage going into this one.
Now their buy's really good. They've got full shields. Lemur does have an outlaw, but it's not going to be hitting quite the same.
Not as scary as that op.
Out goes a defensive A push quickly. Illogical is really pressing cause here. Under a lot of pressure, has to fall back. Wall buys him a bit of space, but that's going to be the ult orb given over. The Broncos fully content to play this one slow and see what's presented to them.
Any knockout can swing for the direction that they want to go here. We can see, on the other side.
Rifle out, but Kirisudo doubles back and finds the lurk at the most unlucky of times for Daimyo. As now the rest of the team grouping towards B, they have to make a play. As they're down a player, they need to use their spontaneous advantage. Skies goes through a wonderful updraft, gets a perfect angle, but Aaron with the Bulldog able to grab it with these trades. Perfect, back the other way, spray through, Master, amazing shot. Still though, it's evened out at a 2v2. Plant coming through. Towards Link, they have a good amount of space to play for, and they seem to be aware of the possibility of a flank. I like them doing this. They're clearing all the space to make sure that they can turn their back to A and not be worried about it. They've got Recon Bolt online. Skelesis can use it. Not a lot of util for Slouch and Kirisudo as they creep forward onto site. They've noted the plant, but they do have a dark cover to make things difficult. And
That
holding
definitely
pixel
will create some
angle.
issues. Ooh.
And they're on the spike now, sticking it. Has to spray, but Master! Amazing! Just gets them both through the smoke. They line up, and Master knocks them down. It's bowling for the Clove of Boise State as they get up to match point.
Yeah, I mean, great forethought there from the Broncos on placing of the spike. You know, sometimes your first thought is just get it down and get to a hiding spot. But being very intentional about where you place it for your sightlines is so crucial. The Broncos knew exactly where the Spartans were standing there for that. And that is such a catastrophic moment for Michigan State, putting them in match point, and definitely not where they want to be.
They do have Dimensional Drift. One of the best ultimates. It's probably almost guaranteed to come out this round. Is actually a really quick push out mid. Daimyo holding for it, and he's so ready. Slouch tries to make a hero play, but instead gets shut down. Skies puts one back sight. Master quickly traded. This is a little bit awkward now. Lemur, good blindside. Makes things very difficult, and Cause is kind of trapped here in this corner. Might need some help. Actually just walks straight out. Never mind, I was wrong. Cause able to distance himself from A, which is most of the players in Daimyo. Has to be ready for this. Not quite. Kirisudo playing a cheeky little angle with the Spectre. That's more information, and I think almost every player's been noted now, but the Broncos still down a player, waiting to try and get one more to even the odds before they make their final decision here.
If they can get that one lucky pick and looking for that angle, trying to figure out, and the longer they wait, the more the information changes as we see the Spartans adjusting their locations. The Broncos starting to settle on an idea here. They need to find that one opportunity. Like you said, that pick could be all the difference, but it's not going to happen.
Could be traded though. No, Lemur is ready for it towards heaven. Skies, the B player, wanted to get a late lurk, but now he has to do everything. 20 seconds left. Maybe even just thinking about saving here, keeping this gun going into next round, but he's got to find a safe place to stand. Kirisudo, the timing! Oh no! Kirisudo gets Skies at the end. Michigan State fighting right back, not willing to end this map that way. Trying to get a few more, and they actually managed to save the Dimensional Drift as well.
Yeah, not having to use their big informational piece that quickly is definitely going to be something to keep on the radar for the Broncos. They're very comfortable at this point. You know, there are plenty of rounds in between, plenty of opportunities. What they honestly just need to do is hang out and look for that opportunity to push a mistake that Michigan State does. Right now, it's a mind game, you know, as much as it is just the actual technical play right now. If Michigan State slips up even once, they're done.
You can certainly force some mistakes if you're able to save 5 ults. That'll get a few mistakes going your way, but Lemur punishing one quickly. Oh, no, it's just, oh yeah, no, it was. Lemur actually getting punished himself though, and they've noted the Cubby player. Master shuts it down, and now B could potentially be pretty open. That's the site. If you have worse guns, you want to go, and Master going straight out, has the not dead yet, able to push in and make a play. Slouch thinking about the paranoia, but doesn't want to give himself up yet. Kirisudo pushing through, gets one, but traded, and now all on to Slouch. Master sprays him
Not
down.
enough.
And a thrifty for the victory. The Broncos take the first map 13-4 in convincing fashion.
What a great way to end a game. It's like, I didn't even need everything to get this match.
We're talking about saving 5 ults. We got sheriffs, man. It'll be all right.
Wait, ults? What are those?
Yeah.
We don't need them.
Ults are crutches. We got aim and guns, and the Broncos do it. And I mean, I mentioned it a few times, but that was the map pick of Michigan State. That was the one that they put their chips on. They said, this is going to be our win, and instead, it's a convincing defeat for them as they're going to go on to now the map that the Broncos said, this is our map.
This is the one we want. Yeah. Now, they have played Bind plenty in the past. You know, it's not an uncommon pick, but they are coming off of that, like, from my understanding, intense loss on that map, which definitely is an interesting additional mind game to factor in here of, you know, even if you've been comfortable previously, coming off of a loss in your first round, going into what could become match point for the entire set here, and going into the map that you did not have such a great time on last time, I would not want to be the Spartans right now.
I like how you mentioned mind game, because there's the game and then there's the game going on in your head of how you're feeling after losing that one. It can't be great, really. I mean, they're going to have to rally back now and do something very similar to what the Broncos just did. But of course, thank you to ICCU for their continued support of Boise State Esports. Thank you to ICCU. Boise State Esports has won multiple national championships and piled up more than 1,500 wins. ICCU, looking after your daily balance. Visit ICCU.com.
Now, this is, of course, our chance for reset. You know, we saw a really, really good showing from the Broncos early on, getting those strong early leads in there. Though the Spartans started to find a little bit of groove. So I'm curious to see how that might go down in this next game because, you know, as we were talking about, right, mind games are important. You gotta, like, those emotions don't feel good. But when you're at this level, that's something that you have to learn how to gain a handle on. So I think a big question will be, can they keep their cool and keep their focus, or is this going to turn into a bit of a snowball like I wish what we were seeing here in Boise, because there's no snow when they're supposed to be here right now.
Characteristically, this Michigan State squad, they're not unfamiliar to adversity, as we had mentioned.
You don't get to top 3 without it, right?
Yeah, and this year already they've had different mix-ups with the lineup, lots of different players coming through, of course, performing very well, but now they find themselves in a difficult situation, of course, coming into this one. They all know what we know. If they win this one, they're probably going to be looked at as the second strongest team, but now, after a loss like that, it's going to be difficult to rally back, but luckily they get a break to do so, and we get a break as well quickly. But don't go anywhere, because this one, it might not be as done as it seems quite yet. So we'll see you in a second.
Life happens. Lucky for you, ICCU has a new kind of checking account that comes with benefits that help you life better. Because being human is a full-time job.
Since you guys have been in here, some things have changed. We've updated this place to be in its final form. New cabinets, new counters, all sorts of new stuff in here. This has turned into a place that wouldn't look out of place at an SEC or Big Ten football facility, and Dairy West has allowed us to have it here. We've taken a holistic approach to our player nutrition, and we're really thankful that Dairy West has made sure that our fueling station is the best in college esports and really at industry standard for any college athletic department.
It's me, your Idaho Central Credit Union app. Rough morning. Is that a mobile deposit? I got this. Beat it, Charlie. We're making money moves here. Cha-ching. And done.
Charlie, come on, outside.
Sorry about the mess. I'd help if I had hands. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
Scott Matlock, underrated recruit, has built himself into one of the best defensive players in the Mountain West.
What would you do if you couldn't fail? Would you see every setback as a catalyst to keep going? This is the innovator's mindset, because innovation demands daring. Is finding thousands of ways that don't work, and the one that changes everything. It's when your unrelenting spirit sees the world's needs and says, I will create something better. So, what will you do? Will you let your genius run wild? Give yourself the space to be great? Set your sights on something even bigger, because we know changing the world doesn't happen by chance. It comes out of the blue.
My friends know me as Garrett, but I'm also Master Sergeant Raxter. This is my life in the Air National Guard.
Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena, where the Broncos PEC Valorant season is continuing to go pretty well right now, as they just took a map against Michigan State's confident map pick 13-4, and going forward now they've got momentum onto their own map pick of Bind. And Audrey, I mean, I don't know, it was just it seems so decisive the whole way through. Do you think there was really anything particularly that led to such a one-sided map there?
You know, I think it's interesting. Like, we were talking about how this first game could really be a trendsetter for the rounds in general, because, you know, we were talking about these teams have a lot of skills. They're very good at what they do. They know what they're talking about. But something interesting that we were talking about while we were on break was the fact that a lot of the tools that Michigan State wanted to use did not pan out the way they wanted to. I highlighted it multiple times. Neon jumped up where, Illogical wanted to be and was shut down.
Yeah.
So often when you are in that initiating spot and you are not able to do what you want, it's going to cut through a lot of your options. And we did see that. The Broncos were like, you want to initiate? No. Our terms. This is how we want to do it. And that is going to be something I think interesting to contend with going into this match, because as we've already brought it up, this is what the Broncos picked. This is where they want to be. So if you're already getting cut off on the spot you picked, what's going to happen when we go to Bind? And that's where Boise State wants to go.
First fights are kind of an underrated kind of statistic, and it really shows a lot of which team is able to kind of get that first lead. And normally I don't like mention specific players for like negative kind of stats, but this to me is almost more of like a team stat than Illogical specifically. He was 0 for 6 in those first duels, and watching that, it wasn't anything he was necessarily doing. It was like the way he was utilized was, okay, we're going to go in, and he was just never able to get as much value
I mean,
as he'd like.
as someone who's played Neon a lot, I find that it is like a lot of the ways that like initiators get like immediately typecasted by people is like, oh, they are the ones working at this. They're the ones that create up that opportunity. It's like, no, they are the spear tip, not the spear. And so although like Illogical got cut off a lot of times, it wasn't because what Illogical was doing didn't make sense. To be honest, like popping up like that, terrifying. That's a scary thing to do. And I love when I see Neon players do it. It's just a very big highlight that the Broncos were cutting off the opportunity for any initiation to occur, and that's something that the Spartans need to keep in mind going into this, though of course we are going to be seeing some comp switch ups for that, as it's not something to be deterred by at all, but it is something to create some interesting strategies around.
Interesting game this one's going to be as we get into map 2. The Broncos map pick Bind. They've only lost one map on Bind this entire season. I think it was to Ohio State, so very, very strong as they look to get a 2-0 victory in Michigan State, looking to have a bit of a story of their own if they can manage to win the other team's map pick and get back into this one. But once again, Pistols so far 50-50 this series. Broncos, this is going to be another very important one. They want to push their advantage while they still have it.
That is going to be the big thing, you know. We talk a lot about like how this was going to set the tone, but at the end of the day, it's a new game, new map, new situation. The way that that can go can change a lot of how this map could go. There is, of course, the mind game emotions and thoughts from the previous match, but you know, looking at this and seeing where it can go, this is still a new opportunity.
Interesting as well that Michigan State chooses to not play with the Fade and the Rays on the same site, which is difficult. And in fact, actually, they're probably, I know what they're doing. I'll say it later. We don't have time for it right now as Sky's looking to dash towards Octagon, perfectly set up by his team. Amazing team play as Skies gets so much value on the push though. Lemur, strong as ever with that Sheriff, evens things back up briefly before he's taken down as the plant is going to come through. Only 2 Michigan State to try and retake into this. It's going to be difficult. Slouch and Illogical, no slouches themselves, but into the smoke. Gonna have to walk. Elbow instead looks to be their destination, a bit more desirable than the alternative, but it's been noted. Cause with a bandit from this distance, it's gonna be doing some damage. That's a Sheriff in the hands of Illogical, ready to get something, and it does. Skies quickly eliminated, but they don't know about Cause. Great angle, has to re-peek, but peeks right into a headshot. Only one left. Master can't quite find it. Illogical and Lemur, Sheriffs, so strong as they pick up the pistol round despite really great entry from the Broncos.
And I mean, exactly what we were talking about with how that can go depending on the situation. Now, the Spartans setting the pace here for this first game, turning it around from what we saw. You know, similar to how we saw in the previous moment, like the trigger discipline, now flipping to Michigan State having to find those spots. But the Broncos, you know, building on how they had that really good initiation, like that's, you know, they've got that down. Now it's just jumping into the rest of it.
I'm going to try and make my point here as fast as I can, but they're playing the Fade. They're going to throw the C's through the teleporter, so it'll pull people that are outside shower, and then the nade's easier to land. So that's why they're playing them on different sites. So that could be a play to look out for. I'm sure the Broncos are aware
sneaky,
of something like that happening, though. Stealth drone, a little bit deceptive, doesn't find anyone, but there's 3 players here. Superior weapon.
Huge moment here.
For the Broncos, not going to be great. Guiding light held as they want to go through this smoke. It's going to be sketchy, though. The C's could be dangerous, as well as the supportive fire. Lemur holding with the Outlaw on top of Tube. It's such a hard angle to contend with, and I think they're just going to try and peek it. Kirisuno jump spot. Prestige Makes eye contact with him. Backside skies goes. Lemur finds the shot though, and Kirisudo quickly turning gets another. Skelesis stun onto Lemur. Could potentially walk out and try and get something, but the Octagon player is strong. Cause gets one though. 12 HP. Still alive. Still being a nuisance. Looking back into the smoke, and he's been noted as well. Lemur so strong from that cubby position as Michigan State pick up their second round here.
Michigan State overall taking the round, but the Broncos holding really good and showcasing if you are playing with the mindset that they are right now, that you're not going to immediately be wiped out with all of your players. Like, great placement on that area made sure that they could last to try and get those picks. The numbers advantage always is going to be a tricky one, but, you know, Kaz holding strong there and going, no, I don't care that I'm low on health.
Attack is already hard enough on this map as it is without only having classics to work with. Good attempt from the Broncos, and now they've got rifles. Slouch has been noted. Illogical, though, has a really nice spot up on top of that truck. Common angle, but maybe not expected yet as two players getting really exploratory. Sky's the one to note it, but it's Kaz instead to find the kill. Aaron, though, has trapped himself in the corner, sees, doesn't find anything, and Aaron has to run straight into Kaz's headshot. A beautiful kill, and now B site completely open once again, and Master, not really so much of a timing anymore if he can't really choose to go towards elbow as Lemur's walked up, made it his territory. Master so good though, able to clear the site, and the spike definitely going to come down. Lemur, aggressive angle, he keeps going, he keeps peeking, and he gets one. It's not accounted for. Gate crash dashes him right away as things even up. 3v3. Master trying to take the fight. He doesn't have light shield. He can take a shot from this outlaw. Blindside goes through off the flash. Lemur still gets the kill though. It's on to Prestige. The clone fools him for just a moment. And Michigan State, they went around. They're not favored in, and now the advantage is going in their direction.
I mean, like you mentioned, you know, attack is definitely like a challenging spot on this map. I do want to highlight how great the reaction time there was on that clip. Two people moving so far up can be so disastrous if you're the attackers and get caught blindsided. Although a trade did go through, being able to move based off of that and like still act on it was a great thing to see there. The Spartans now have a bit of, you know, space to work with, but
Kaz
they got to be careful for that.
I was just about to say, Kaz has to be careful right here, because if the C's goes through onto him, he might fall victim to the play we were mentioning, but instead, since he doesn't make any noise, it looks like it won't
far,
come
so good.
through. Stinger could be really good to fight into this shower position. So he could get a jump on Illogical here, pushing into it, spots the barrel, but Illogical adjusts in time. Master now has to be the one to step up. Up so far with the Sheriff. Great angle held. Slouch eliminated. That's a good shot. And now Pick Me Up utilized. It even saves his life there from Lemur's shot with the Outlaw jump spot noted. Skelesis now gets one as well. That's an upgrade for him. In terms of weaponry, still so awkward backside trying to land the shot onto Lemur. But do they stay here? Or do they risk trying to leave knowing
They're in a difficult spot.
Lemur quickly traded. Skelesis, good play, but it's on. Now the Skies can't hit the shot with the Bucky. Aaron stands tall backside. And Michigan State flipping the script here a little bit. Got up to 4 here.
Yeah, 4 is still a far cry from the 13 needed to start, though, so it will be interesting going forward. Overall, that space in the back that the defenders have access to is something they're very comfortable using right now, and just an area that the Broncos have been yet to able to fully break through. But as we continue forward, you know, you understand how the team wants to play, what their shenanigans are, and more opportunities arise. Yep.
Oh, the fade. I think she might be looking to make the play. They're probably talking about it, but Skies is the one to make a play instead. Can't throw the need if you're dead. Illogical quickly taken out, and that makes attack so much easier. Getting a kill like that now, you can just play for space, try to find the weak location, but Broncos, I mean, they've been able to get onto these sites so far. It's been holding on. That's kind of been the struggle this far.
Scout destroyed.
Ooh, oh, careful, Prestige. Eeks right out, gets the information. Shows his head for just a minute, but doesn't quite lose it. Lemur, though, operator towards heaven. He's been a threat so far this game, especially with those snipers. Lemur, standout player for Michigan State. Super high-ranked Radiant player, has the mechanics. And he's going to have to be dealt with if they want to get onto this site, and he is immediately pinged with the drone. Amazing teamwork, Skies shuts him right down, and now another 3v5. This time, have to make sure not to let the retake get away from them. Ooh, quickly peeks out. Skies actually in a great spot. Even has the convergent pass if he chooses to use it, but really great use of the dash. Gets him out of that corner, but just
not enough.
Gives Aaron a nice chance, and he's going to take it. Cause standing strong, trying to live. Good timing from Cause. Spray down, gets two, looking for the third, and it's all
There it is.
to hold on as the Broncos get their first of the game.
It's not often that we get to see that final battle with only like a player difference and most of the characters on the roster being there.
Yeah.
It just adds to that hecticness, but the Broncos were able to capitalize on it fully once, you know, the Michigan State pushed so far. They just capitalized on knowing exactly where they were and taking them out.
The only thing is, though, like, you still see a little bit of things that make you a little nervous, because if Cause dies there, that's a 3v3, and they got a smoke on the bomb. Like,
that
coming down to
adds
these
so
fights.
many elements. But, you know, working through it was what matters. And like we were talking about earlier, like sticking through and committing was a big thing. And that's what Cause did earlier, and Cause did it again, and it worked out.
I like seeing Lemur's perspective there. You can see just kind of how much space he's able to take with that operator, but it's not on the right side of the map. Full push coming through B. Aaron dealt with. Convergent pass finds everybody. Master able to get Gary Sudo and the rest of the team backside. What can you do? Oh, even pops the ultimate. That might be a little bit of an interesting play from Lemur. Whole team falls apart with the dimensional drift, looking to make something happen. It still has to be noted. Out in the smoke with Skies gets the first, and Skelicys is the contingency
There it
player.
is.
Flawless for the Broncos. Now money's a bit more on their side here.
Feeling a lot more comfortable, getting a little bit of extra fun in the kit here. Just seeing that instant capitalization off of the previous win there is such a great spot there. And now, looking forward, look at the ultimate difference in some of the resources we have here. It's starting to even out when we're talking eco. Actually, a little more favorable overall for the Broncos, but, you know, gotta be scared when you're looking at all of those options that they have and plenty of speed.
I don't know if they heard him. They used that mine to try and get easy space up, but it's going! Watched with the shorty. Skies is ready. Slouch almost shot through the smoke. Master gets the push. Michigan State getting a little antsy, trying to make things happen as they're starting to lose a few rounds, and now they've got themselves into a bit of a hole. 3v5. And Slouch makes something happen from this corner. He's dealt with immediately by Skies, who ups the tempo. Dash is still online, shorty in hand. You know what that means. Out he goes, spinning, totes into the smoke. Aaron, good timing, and maybe an upgrade of a gun. Has to be watched. Can't disrespect Aaron here in this position. Could punish them for it, blinding light through, and Aaron gets immediately shut down by Prestige. Now, only the flank. Cause sees it, and Cause deals with it. 3 rounds straight now for the Broncos.
Not going to let this go down without a fight here. Honestly, just great teamwork from the Broncos in that moment. Although there were plenty of, you know, single player plays, having that backup that was always there really showed just the coordination that they were putting together to get that point. And that's such a big thing when you are making those fast pushes to put the spike down, is knowing where everyone is and just being great on the communication. And they had the information, and we saw right there. That's where the Spartans got knocked out.
This is dangerous now as Skies is almost fully online when he's able to get so much value just by himself. It's so difficult to deal with it. Because normally you have to set your initial or your duelist up for so much stuff. You have to send so many flashes, so much utility, but Skies is getting it all done himself, and he wants to keep doing it. Drone comes through. Players noted in the corner. Will Skies go? Not quite. Paint Shells forces the peek. There comes the Armageddon, not able to find anything, but it buys so much space. Skies can push into this now and get this ult orb if he wants. A good default so far played by the Broncos.
Getting some backup from Skelesis too. Once again, just creating that space. Every extra room you can clear gives you momentum. Though going up into this next area, they have to confront the big challenge of getting into that open area on A, if that is so where they choose to push.
Dash and Shorty. Peanut butter and jelly. Some of the best combinations in the game. Skies looking to go out, but it's not even on his side. Trapped in Cubby Seekers. Show it all, and it's all goes the way of Skelesis. Bomb Buddy actually manages to find Prestige. A bit of a lucky trade there, perhaps, but a trade nonetheless, as the operator, dangerous, and also a dangerous peek. Skies taken down solo, has to dash out. Can't be shot by Lemur. Tries to hit the flick, but can't. Viper's Pit makes this so impossible. And Michigan State back off the round. They seed it, saving their guns as the Broncos even up the score here. They might even be able to find a couple of these exits if they're aware. Skies looks like he's hunting for it here.
Yeah, I mean, already low on health. Might as well do a little bit of double check. You never want to get caught by surprise. But, I mean, as you mentioned, there they go. The speed moving up. And, I mean, they've secured the spike.
Lemur always plays here.
Oh,
no! Lemur gets the first. And the rest of the team decides not to trade, but the Broncos even up the score. Started out 0-4, but they've got it back now. And the money being saved, though, for Michigan State, that was a good play, as they can now call a timeout, and they still have ultimates and money to work with.
Yeah, not out of resources, though definitely starting to be put on the back foot here. Like I was talking about, as you start to get comfortable where your players are going to be, what they want to do, and how they're going to do it, you know, you start to be able to lock down players. You know, Yoru Lemur, right, has been kind of a menace, just popping up everywhere, and that's what you would expect with some of the abilities that you have access to, and that's something that the Broncos have been aware of as they've been moving on to these points. You gotta watch those sight lines, as always. That's how the name of the game with Valorant, but finding those ways to lock it down more and more has become a thing. I also just want to be able to call out, you know, we were talking about this, the last time I was casting, you know, was when like Teo had just come out. So getting to see Waylay and just like the additional resources added has been super fun so far, because it's an interesting movement ability compared to what I've seen in the past.
Genuinely, I'm not just saying this because it's the Broncos, but like Skies is one of the best Waylays I've ever seen. The way he plays is so. It's like if you ever wanted to see it, you're watching.
This is my primary context, and I'm having a great time right now.
Well, you haven't even seen anything quite yet. Shorty still not even necessarily getting too much value with the push, but still, their attack is going well, all things considered. They've got a bit more of a defense-heavy sort of composition, so any rounds they're able to get is big here off the timeout. Choosing to play slow, not gonna fall for any early push. Lemur takes Skies out. Op has repositioned. It was towards A so many rounds in a row that now, I mean, it's just what happens. Sometimes you peek to the op, but now that it's noted, the rest of the team speeding up towards A, and it's really not held super crazy here. Both players towards Shower. They could get cut off if the Broncos get more towards site. That's two players.
They know.
That's both of them noted. Skelesis could even get this kill out of the mines. Quickly, Illogical satchels away to save it and tucks into the corner. An interesting spot, but still both players noted back site. Lemur over with the operator, but look how far Master's gotten. This is an insane play. I don't know, though. If he keeps pushing, he's going to get a free kill onto Illogical head.
There it is!
There it is. Perfect from him, and they still know that the players are Shower. Swinging in, Master goes for it. Snakebite cuts him off. And this is a really sketchy round. Actually, now thinking that they know the flank's coming, so they're planting for CT and Prestige. Looking for the flank, but the timing bad. Prestige almost caught with his back out, but turns around just in time to get the first. Does he know about the second? Aaron finds it. Master on deck and gets the first. He doesn't know about the late flank though. Skillis is coming through, not dead yet. Used. Shorty out. Gets the kill, and it's only one left. Aaron hit a little bit through the smoke. But 1v3, Spike down. He is a very, very hard round for Aaron to play. Now he's been noted. Spike, tap, the swings coming through. Aaron actually gets the first, but taken down to such low health. Skelesis gets it, and the Broncos take their lead back.
Oh, what a great round there. You know, Master being able to sneak around as much as that. Always such a rewarding moment. And then, you know, you could have sworn they were on defense with a play like that. You know, all the defenders in the shower moving up. You'd think they're the attackers, but it just goes to show just what can happen when you get that switch up of locations, and Masters played that really well there.
Well, it's just so smart to note. You're just noting everyone's position. You know there's 2 showers, so Master takes a crazy aggressive timing, and then they plant. They know that the flank's there, so they plant for the other team's spawn. It's just ridiculous. Such a good play, and now, I mean, this is crazy. They just walk everybody up showers. They've never done this play before. This is the first time they do it, and it's going to be so good. Out. He's going to catch everyone looking away. Skies sees the back. Logical finds it. Transfer. Not quite there, but Master is, and Prestige finds another 2v4 already. 30 seconds into the round. What a play. What a call for that. But, like, I would have never expected that play.
I mean, hey, you know, they needed to wash off all the
Skelesis might not be ready. Ooh, he is. I don't know if he expected him to be so close, but the adjustment's there anyway, Judge. Probably not expected by Master, but Prestige now is the one to get it. Broncos, 6 straight rounds. They're now firmly in the lead here.
Yeah, I mean, unexpected plays are where you're going to see that catching off guard. I mean, that's exactly what happened to the Spartans, you know, hopping down. Like, what were you supposed to do in that moment when suddenly the player's right there looking at you? And that is exactly what they wanted.
I think that shows, like, the fact that they didn't account for shower at all, to me, is like, that might be showing that things might be breaking down a little bit for the Spartans, as they didn't even put anyone there. No one watched it. They just walked out. When you're allowed to get plays like that, things get a little bit crazy. Trying to get Lemur posted up on this angle with the operator there. I don't know if he's going to get anything. Too much util use. Skies dashing in now. Aaron's the one to peek. Decent damage, and the convergent pass is here. Actually not used. Trailblazer goes out first. In it goes. Thinking about it, still not. I think I might have gotten a no-scope there. Oh, the fight flank as well goes the way of Illogical, and now what looked like such a quick push-out Showers has kind of ended up making them a little bit stuck as 2 flankers in this position. I don't know if I would ever expect this if I was Skies. Knife out. Can't quite get it, but sees 2 players. The 2v5. They're going to have to look for anything they can get at this point.
Stuck between a bit of a rock and a hard place. The Broncos need to play this carefully. They're watching their sightlines. Ooh!
Really great shot. Chance at a second. Kirisudo wants to leave, but he's kind of trapped in this corner. He's going to have to take the fight with Prestige, who walks through. I don't think he thinks he's this close. Fake flash. Really smart, but he walks out a bit farther, and Skelesis getting that. Hold on. Ooh, good re-push by Kirisudo. Catches Prestige off guard, but there's still one left. The Logical, the one to grab it. Michigan State finally stop a little bit of bleeding, cauterize the wound here as they get their first round in what seems like forever. But we're on to the last one here. Ultimate's decent for both sides. It's going to be a bit of a fiesta, I predict.
Now, all the particles on screen here as we go into this. This will definitely be a turning point a bit for this. I think just interesting to watch that instant cutoff for the Spartans being able to adjust there.
They have the right read. They're going to use the Waylay ult, the convergent pass. They're going to use it on B, and there is no ults for the side of Michigan State on either of those players.
Not a lot of answers then.
Lemur Gate Crash allows him to play both sides, and he's definitely going to teleport as soon as this Seeker gets hit with his operator, but it might not be enough. And he teleports, but the convergent pass catches both of them through the smoke. Kirisudo gets one. Smoke's not dropping. Master able to get the first and the second. So strong. Lemur backside operator's not what you want in this spot. Jumping through Skies, takes the space, and they've got to hold on. Seems like deja vu. They've lost a few from this spot before. Orbital Strike buys time, and in goes the Showstopper. Sky's holding, and he gets dealt with quickly. Trade comes through from both sides. 2v1 Master, the one to get it. The Broncos 7-5 on the half as Master gets 3 on the round.
Switching sides.
Now back to the pistol round, but in a much, much better feeling spot there. And it'll be interesting to see. We saw the Spartans gain a really good footing on this map previously, but now that we've had a little bit of back and forth, I'll be curious to see how that goes, especially off of how many crazy plays we saw from Masters in that last shutdown.
I think on paper they should just have a better defense than their offense was with that double controller, able to hold so much space, but they don't have a sentinel, which could be interesting. I think the way that they account for that is with these trap plays, like the one we're just about to see. All alone, Kirisudo nowhere to go. I mean, left out to dry. Like a used t-shirt, nothing really to do. Skelesis has to back up for a second, but Master holding strong. Good stun, comes through, Skies holds on. Master doesn't even die there, and that is not great for the Spartans. Let's look where the spike has fallen. It's in the middle of nowhere. They want to try and drop a smoke to play anyway. No slouch, and it's only one left. Lemur is getting ran down as Skelesis finishes out the pistol round for the Broncos 8.
What are you supposed to do there when it's not one but two players standing over your spike in the smoke, and you know the Broncos able to just see that spot go, you know, it's a little sketch for sure. There's opportunities for the Spartans to find that, but Broncos were like, well, you need to come here so I know where you're going. And
just showing, I mean, it's so unfortunate. Kirisudo literally can't do anything there. He's Viper, no movement, getting ran down by everybody. It was just a good play from the Broncos to know that that could be a weak spot, but now Michigan State, they're bringing the older brother. They've got 5 players now trying to find the bully, but he's not there. He's changed his position to A. Maybe that's what they want after all costs. Here's a Maul. Hookah gets the first up, a great stun from his teammate. Dodges the, can't quite dodge the Prowler, but Skies is already here. Shotgun out, making up for the other round, gets 2, and it's only 1 left. Kirisudo, so often in these positions, and the Trailblazer running him down. It looks like he's gonna go for the TP. A good play is gonna buy him some time to get this spike down, and I think he might have a weapon to his name now.
Bit of a spicy play here. I always love seeing, you know, the we're not done yet, I might be the only one. And he's going to create some extra space, but Master does not seem to care.
Kirisudo has a stinger now, trying to play that distance, and Master playing his distance with the Guardian as well. Oh no, the timing! How did they not quite catch him? Kirisudo, I don't think either team knows where each other are here. Kirisudo, he's like, what? They're not here yet.
Where are they? Yeah.
Through though. And the longer they wait, the sketchier it gets. Kirisudo walking up, but Prestige so ready for it. Shuts it right down, and the Broncos up to 9 rounds in the driver's seat, and the pedal is floored.
There were so many moments right there. I was like, are they going to see each other? No. Are they going to see each other? No. And I was just like, of course you have to go for the most terrifying moment where a collateral could have occurred, but just goes to show, you know, you don't have eyes in the back of your head, and it's stressful to be that one player. Spartans, being as careful as they could, couldn't do anything after the absolute knockout on the other point.
I mean, you're completely correct. It seemed like that kind of knocked the wind out of their sails for the most part, but they are still willing to try it again. We'd noticed Boise State, they were so keen to just wait out the time, wait out util, but that is not the rule book for the Spartans. Quickly now up towards long. They look for any information they can get, but there's no one home. They've got the late flank. It's everything you'd need for a good play. Side is open, but the Hookah players are going to be ready for this. Kirisudo. Oh, the gun spotted! Kirisudo poking out, gets caught by Master, and that's a weapon upgrade, Skies. Bucky out, we might see a little bit of magic here. Saturate comes through, dash, goes in and backside. Lemur finds it though. Smoke drops, and Prestige also claimed from Illogical. That's good positions noted, but all players towards Hookah, they're practically playing attack. As you had said before, they have to jump out into so many sketchy positions. Master gets the first pick-me-up used, but it's not enough. The gun round goes the way of Michigan State, and they get to 6.
Not ready to back down yet, though the Broncos have been making strides towards that 13th point. You know, the Spartans are showing that they're not going to let momentum in one round completely knock them out in the other, you know, holding down that line. And you know, at the end of the day, like, if you can get that right setup, that can be really good. And that's what we've been seeing the Broncos do constantly. So, you know, not a surprise watching the Spartans pull some similar tricks, though might not be all they need.
What's interesting now is they're going to a different site, but it's practically the same play. They've got 4 players short and then late, long. This time, I mean, Master, the smoke is so far forward that we don't even really want to walk into it.
Yeah, I mean, that's so sketchy. Some damaging util goes out, and you're in a rough spot for sure.
Oh, but this is dangerous. Master, they've waited so long that he might not think that they're this close. He's got himself into a very interesting position. Smoke dropping. Is he ready? Right side. Can't quite adjust. Lemur a bit more ready for it, but that's why Skies is here to back up his teammate. Holding strong towards U-Haul. The clone won't make it in, which is good for him. Oh, but above the smoke, what an angle from Illogical. It's really great. Catches him off guard. Cause ready for it. Can't quite find it, though. Illogical playing with his life. But that's the flank found. And that makes things a little bit easier, but the teleport comes through. They had the sight, but they overcooked a little now towards B. A chance maybe to prevent the spike from going down. Outswing Skelesis gets the first with the mines. Quickly shut down, but Cause is there as well and gets 2. Evens things back up, and the spike is still yet to come down. So much time bought for the Broncos.
And is going to go through.
They're going to double swing this. And goes the smoke dimensional drift. They're running right past it. They want the fight. It's behind them, but that's okay. It's in tube. The plant's in tube. They have to come fight it. Prestige holding strong, and it's going to be the Broncos round. They stick the bomb in the face of 2 defenders. Prestige gets the kill, and the Broncos get up to 10.
What a, you know, that takes a lot of grit there. When you know that you have to run in and commit like that.
Yeah.
Most stressful moment for me when I play, I can't, like, just knowing that you are dealing with those resources, knowing that Dimensional Drift activated too, like, you have no idea where he's going to pop up. Just holding strong, going, we have to get the defuse and they have to come to us. Just great determination there from the Broncos, bringing them to their 10th point.
It's how you can tell a game is even, in my opinion, is the rounds they're decided by just minor little things, like just the fact that the plant was
where it
like,
was,
Illogical couldn't see the bomb, and that was what decided everything. Oh, the push could be so sketchy here towards Showers. There's 4 players, but they've caught Slouch looking at his map. Oh no, Skies once again gets it. Showstopper committed. Gets cause for Prestige. Classic backside. What a shot from Prestige. Right click claims the soul of Illogical. 3 players versus 3 now. Master, does he know about the Showers? He does. Somehow lives and adjusts for this. For the shot, what a play! And once again, Michigan State turning tail, trying to adapt, run to the other side, but Skies is already here. Guns have been gained. Plant goes down, and that makes things a little sketchy. With Armageddon, sets up Skies, but he isn't able to hit the shot. Nightfall, his way, Skelesis gets it, and it's only 1 left, but it's Lemur. Such a strong player, gets the first, able to adjust quickly, but Skies gets the kill through the wall, a headshot, and now 11 for the Broncos.
Information was the name of the game. The Broncos knew where their opponents were and capitalized on it, getting the defuse and getting the thrifty.
Master couldn't quite use the not dead yet and didn't get an assist, but they'll be okay with that. A thrifty round. Look at that shot. My right click would never come on, Prestige.
Right, and then Prestige, you know, getting the knockout. Unfortunately, just being immediately finding the rest of the team there, but
we gotta change.
Great spot.
We gotta change Doc's keys to don't trust the right click unless you're on the team, because these guys, their right click is just different. What a play. Shutting
I
down
overthink it too
motion.
much.
For sure. I agree, yeah. You got to do what feels right. Finally, Michigan State are choosing to respect the space a little bit more. Bide their time in the stealth drone. Finding the Yoru there is so important. It means that they're playing slow. They wouldn't have the Yoru there unless they were. So that is kind of a little like a tidbit of information for the rest of the team to take some space. Guys wanting to get a fight, but there goes the Boombot. Getting a little bit of fake space because it clears the area, but Skies is there. He looks so ready to push. Even has the convergent pass. If he hears the information, he might run it. Page Shells in Illogical's hand. Out it goes, but that hits 4. Skies potentially with everything on his plate. The first transfer, the second. Oh, but Aaron able to get him. Master in the smoke. Shorty out, diving through and claims the kill. Only one left. And who else but Kiri Sudo in this position to try and bring it back. But what can he do? Prestige gets the kill and match point for Boise State.
The trades were insane there.
Yeah.
I mean, like you were talking about the excitement there with the convergent, you know, the little wiggles wanting to go in and then just capitalize on it, getting knocked out, but in the end, didn't matter. The Spartans just lost any footing they had prepared to be able to recover.
It's so crazy because, like, I've played this game so much, but even I have no idea how Skies knew there were 4 players and where all of them were. He got the first transferred and knew there was one in the smoke. Ooh, good. Again, trade perfect from Prestige. Able to trade out onto Master, who now has great position. Skies holding strong. Prestige ready, but not quite enough. Kirisudo gets it, but Skies in this spot. Lucky maybe to escape with his life there, but he won't make that mistake again. So much space now. He's been tethered. But they're not looking for it. Viper's Pit instead to come down. 3v3 and Michigan State need every round they can get. It's match point. And what a way to try to get into it. Dash, prep, on his head. Kirisudo taken down. Dunked on by Skies. Another chance. Aaron gets the first onto him. Cause now potentially looking for it. Shorties for everybody. What a good smoke from Slouch makes this difficult because just braves it and walks out. Aaron gets the first skill assist. Oh! Seen and both taken! Skill assist! What a play to end the game! The Broncos commanding win against Michigan State. Wow! What a play to end it out on!
So close. That one of those moments where you know if just slight differences has occurred, that knockout wouldn't have gone through. The Broncos clutching that, hanging on and getting the defuse. What a great play and a great way to solidify that second place.
I was just about to say, as we tie it back like a thesis, here we go. Boise State now, I would say inarguably second strongest team in PEC with their sights now set on the King. What a win and what a showing from everyone on the team once again. Bind looking scary. I wouldn't want to play the Broncos on Bind, that's for sure.
No,
What a win, man.
Yeah, they jumped in and enjoyed it the entire time. You could see the way that they were playing. And honestly, what a fun match to be able to jump on the desk and watch. You know, it's been a while since I've been able to be in the seat for Valorant, but it just reminds me how interesting the strategies can be with all the characters, all the options, and just the fun of the maps, and the way the Broncos played showcased their understanding of mastery of those concepts.
They're so good. All the teams in the PC are so smart. Like, just as I was mentioning, they do things that I just don't even understand. Like, I've played this game so much, but they always find a way to manage to surprise me, whether it's with the shots, the utility, the communication. Just, man, this Boise State team has really, really hit the road. They've gotten so much better throughout the season. And wow, I mean, these games are just must watch. And thank you for joining us on the desk. It's always great to have you, Audrey. But that'll be mostly it for today. Of course, we still have a top 5, and we do have an interview coming back. So don't go anywhere, and we'll be getting to that very soon. They've noted the plant. They do have a dark cover to make things difficult. holding pixel
Some
angle.
issues. Ooh.
And they're on the spike now, sticking it. Has to spray the Master! Amazing, just gets them both through the smoke shells. In Illogical's hand, out it goes, but that hits four. Sky potentially with everything on his plate. The first transfer, the second. Oh, but Aaron able to get him. Master in the smoke, Shorty out, diving through and claims. Almost caught with his back out, but turns around just in time to get the first. Does he know about the second? Aaron finds it. Master on deck. Gets the first. He doesn't know about the late flank though. Stillus is coming through, not yet used. Shorty out, gets the kill, and it's only as a fake to walk out back towards mid and try Daimyo on B site. Oh, he doesn't even know. Fastlane comes up and all the pressure here. Daimyo gets the first transfer onto the second, the third. Daimyo, use of the dash, gets him out of that corner, but just
Not enough.
gives Aaron a nice chance, and he's gonna take it. Cause standing strong, trying to live. Good timing from Cause. Spray down, gets two, looking for the third, and it's all.
There it is.
Scott Matlock, underrated recruit, has built himself into one of the best defensive players in the Mountain West.
What would you do if you couldn't fail? Would you see every setback as a catalyst to keep going? This is the innovator's mindset, because innovation demands daring. Is finding thousands of ways that don't work, and the one that changes everything. It's when your unrelenting spirit sees the world's needs and says, I will create something better. So, what will you do? Will you let your genius run wild? Give yourself the space to be great? Set your sights on something even bigger, because we know changing the world doesn't happen by chance. It comes out of the blue.
Life happens. Lucky for you, ICCU has a new kind of checking account that comes with benefits that help you life better. Because being human is a full-time job.
It's me, your Idaho Central Credit Union app. Rough morning. Is that a mobile deposit? I got this. Beat it, Charlie. We're making money moves here. Cha-ching. And done.
Charlie, come on, outside.
Sorry about the mess. I'd help if I had hands. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
My friends know me as Garrett, but I'm also Master Sergeant Raxter. This is my life in the Air National Guard.
Since you guys have been in here, some things have changed. We've updated this place to be in its final form. New cabinets, new counters, all sorts of new stuff in here. This has turned into a place that wouldn't look out of place at an SEC or Big Ten football facility, and Dairy West has allowed us to have it here. We've taken a holistic approach to our player nutrition, and we're really thankful that Dairy West has made sure that our fueling station is the best in college esports and really at industry standard for any college athletic department.
Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena, where Broncos just took a very, very convincing 2-0 victory against the Spartans in Valorant. And it might be wrong to play favorites, but I'm here with my favorite person to interview. Daimyo is on the desk, and well, I mean, you were in for map 1, and you were a bit of a menace there. They weren't really able to push you, and I wasn't expecting the game to look like that, and I almost doubt you were either. Like, what's kind of changed with this team recently where, I mean, the level just keeps going up and up with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, Zach, thank you for, I love always getting interviewed by you, man. But I don't know, recently we've actually just been practicing a lot. We've been playing in a lot of non-collegiate tournaments versus other, like, pretty good teams, and we've been performing in those. And I think just, like, overall, like, the level we're at right now is basically just comes down to our hard work and our realization of, like, the game of late. So, yeah.
Well, I heard it's like a thing with you guys where I know for a lot of teams it's kind of easy to be like, this is not our map. This is not a map we're ever going to do, ever going to practice. But that's kind of been a focus of you guys is like, we're going to be good on everything. So even when we don't get our picks, we're going to win. And like, I've just been hearing a lot, like every story I've heard about how you guys operate has been so good recently. And like, I think that, isn't it kind of hard to just quantify how much that affects just wanting to come in and wanting to work and win with everybody?
Yeah, I mean, we had a couple tournaments, kind of off-season tournaments in the winter break that we played, and I think a lot of us have just improved more. Like, we've played the game a lot more. We've also played in, like, just competition that's a lot higher as of late. And I think, like, that's obviously showing. Like, I mean, MSU is not a very, like, easy team to beat, and
yeah.
we played really good today, so I'm proud of the guys for that.
Well, you and Austin Prestige, you're kind of the jack of every trade, master of all. I like to say no glaze, but but
master mentioned.
Master of all. Oh, that's crazy. But I have to ask, who is your favorite agent to play? Like, I know they got you on everything, but is there anywhere like you kind of crack a little smile, like, oh yeah, here we go?
Now, when you guys get to see me on Chamber again, like, just be ready for that, because I'm lucky that guy. But it's
I'm
okay.
gonna be looking forward to it. The Corrode band, they might have been afraid of it.
Yeah, they were scared. They saw. They knew.
But and so I mean, that was the number 3 team in the standings, Michigan State. You beat them pretty handily. Now, I'm not trying to set you up for saying anything crazy in the media, but how are you feeling looking forward now to playing Ohio State, still undefeated in the PEC? Are you feeling good about it?
I mean, job's not finished until we win in Vegas. At the end of the day, like, they can beat us online. We can lose them next week or when we play them this semester. But when they see us in Vegas, they better be ready, because that's when it actually matters. So, yeah.
It's a tough quote. I like that. So thank you very much for joining me, as always, on the desk. Always a pleasure to interview you. And thank you, everybody, for watching this game. Always absolute cinema every single time with this team. So never miss it. Make sure to catch the next week, and we'll see you guys later. See ya.